Hi folks, how's all doing? David, who sent me the Class 29 locomotive recently, also sent me this D49, this Hornby LNER Class D49 locomotive, which has seen better days. There's, iffy decals on there, and the cylinders there have been very poorly painted. So I think we'll try and sort that. But apparently this just doesn't run very well at all. Let's just turn the power on. Oh, the wheels aren't even moving. So we've got wheel lockup on the locomotive. So there's no point in trying to run that anymore. Let's see if we can get it into the shed. Go on, go on. So I think David said he got this off eBay, and that's, it's kind of a typical eBay condition. Let's have a wee look under the hood and the tender. Ringfield motor, doesn't look too bad actually, looks okay. Traction tyres will need replaced, they're loose. Yeah, I think that's just going to be the usual story with the Ringfield motor, so that's all fine. But I think this could be the fun and games. Oh, just noticed they've got a pickup on the front bogie. That's a good idea, considering you've only got the four wheels. So what is causing these to be so stiff? Straight away, I can see that this rod here is very bent, so that's not going to help matters. The drawbar is a rusted mess. It looks like somebody's tried to solder something on there in the past. So these cylinders, somebody's painted them green. Originally they would have been black with a white square, a white trim square. So I'll certainly paint them black. Whether I'm able to get the white square back, I don't know, that would be quite difficult to achieve, I think. The numbers on the cab, I've got some that will do, so we'll try and get them off and replace those. So I think what I'm going to do for this video is I'm not going to video doing this, because you've seen me do the Ringfield motor umpteen times. It's just going to be the same story. We'll dismantle it, clean it, lubricate it, put it back together, and it'll be absolutely fine. Let's just stick a battery on it. Yeah, that's going to be absolutely fine. So I'm not going to bother filming that. I think really this is the main concern for this video. So let's get it apart. Screw in the front here, and it just lifts out. Oh my word, the top of that pickup there is really corroded. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to take all this apart and clean it all up, because it's a right old mess. The underframe is one of those horrendous clip-on ones which is almost impossible to get off without breaking. Another classic, didn't press record on my phone there. I've just pulled this pickup out and this one out. The front bogie screw is underneath the underframe. So we're going to have to try and get this underframe off. I really, really hate these clip-on underframes. They are just, I'd love to meet the person that thought they were a good idea. And we'll get this drawbar off, which is going to have to get cleaned up. Ideally, actually, this drawbar should be replaced, but as much as possible, I like to keep these things, because this one's slightly different. You know, it does that. I think we'll get that. Oh, I don't have any clock cleaning fluid at the moment. That's really what I need for this. We'll get the rotary tool onto that, I think. There's a clip there. And there's one down in there, and there's one there, and there's one there, there and there. So that's 6 clips. Okay, I've actually just noticed the wheels are loose. So, yeah, there you go. There's one of them off, and that's on the uninsulated side as well. So, I think I'm going to completely dismantle this, and it'll be easier to get the chassis, it'll be easier to get the underframe off. With the wheels out the road. Don't like removing wheels, but sometimes needs must. So that should come on. That should just pull out. No. Normally you would expect that to just come out, but it ain't wanting to. Right, I can see now that this part of the valve gear, it's got like a little barb on it, so it's been designed to push in but not come out. Right, okay, we'll undo the middle crank pin there, and at least we can get the wheels away. There we go. Right, make sure we've got all the little bits and pieces. So, with all that out the road, we can now see the clips clearly. What I want to do is lever that, get a screwdriver under there, and lever that. So that gets it off on that side. Now, if I can keep that screwdriver in there, try and get it off on this side. Yay! I think that's the first one I've done of those without breaking one. So they've got some little brass bearings there for the axles. Take them out. I can unplug this front bogie. That. So at least these things are easy to fit on, you know, you just push them on, but getting these things off is just horrendous. Give this a squish. Some contact cleaner on that. Okay, I was convinced I'd thrown my clock cleaner out, but I've still got it. How potent it's going to be, I don't know. But we'll chuck the drawbar in and these bearings in and leave them to soak for a couple of hours, and hopefully they'll be nice and clean. All sorts of crap caught around the axles in this front bogie. We'll give it a good scoosh out. You can see how bent that connecting rod is. So we'll straighten it up as best we can. It's a bit better. What's the other one like? The other one's okay. Let's have a look at this under frame. Again, we'll give it all a good scoosh out. So a few hours later, my bearings and my drawbar are nice and clean after their bath in the clock cleaner. I kind of wished I'd put the pickups in as well, but that'll be fine. So I've given this motor full service and it's running absolutely fine. Nothing unusual. If there'd been any, you know, like dead wasps or something in there, I'd have showed you, but no, straightforward ring field service, which you've seen me do many times. Right, okay, these cylinders that somebody's tried to paint, we'll want to get all that paint off, and we'll see what we can do. I mean, I may just leave them black. I know David said he'd be quite happy for them just to be black. So to get this paint off, we'll use a little bit of meths, and hopefully it'll just come off down to the bare black plastic. Meths is pretty good at stripping paint away from plastic. You can see it coming away there. I'm using a cocktail stick soaked in meths to get into all the tiny wee nooks and crannies and behind and round the rivets. Right, I'll give it a scoosh with the contact cleaner. And there we go, there's my cylinders all paint free. Now the other thing I want to do is to remove the numbering on the cab here. So just some warm water on a cotton bud, hopefully lift it. There's some scraping on the paint here. Unfortunately, I don't have LNER green paint. Come on, there we go. Just using the cocktail stick just to get rid of the wee stubborn bits. It's important to get all the gum from the old decals off. So fortunately, I've got decals that'll do. Yeah, so 2753. That's the 2's on. Okay, so new numbers on. I'll let them dry. Okay, so I've decided to leave the cylinders black. The chances of being able to, paint on a perfect square line, yeah, it's beyond my skill, I'm afraid. If I had white decal lining, I would maybe give it a go, but I don't have any. I think it'd be better to leave it like that, just black, than try have a very dodgily painted line on it. So I think we'll just leave it. So we can start to get this back together. This is going to be fun. So we need to sort all these linkages out. So that's got to go in there. So to be thinking about refitting that, and we want to do the wheels. Right, I've got my wheels and bearings here. So I'll pop the bearings onto the axle, and then we'll put this wheel on a quarter off from the other one. So if that's going to go at 6 o'clock, that one wants to go, I'll probably do it. Right, so I've got that one at 6 and that one at 3, so that one at 6, that one wants to go to 3 as well. You sometimes can't quite get it bang on because the way the splines work, you have to turn the wheel in little increments to get it to fit. But so long as the wheels on either side are in perfect alignment with each other, so both those wheels can be must be perfectly at in alignment like that, so they're both at 9 o'clock. So these ones don't have to be at perfect right angles to the other wheels, so long as they are in alignment with themselves, like that. So they're at 9 o'clock now, and these ones are pretty much at 6 o'clock. Insulated side goes at that side. So that's going to go on like that. The bearings in position. And we'll get some power lube in there. It's going to go that way, isn't it? And then we also have to fit the front bogie. Okay, I think we'll have to connect it up. I'm not convinced it's working quite as it should, but we'll get it connected up. So that'll go in there, that'll go in there, that'll go in there, and then that goes on like that. Little screw in. Okay, that's that side. Same on this side. Give a moment of truth. I've got a funny feeling it's still sticking. Front bogey on. Yeah. What's going on? I've spotted on this linkage here, there's quite a bad bend on this piece. I don't think it's rotating properly there. Right, okay. Oof, that's a nasty bend. Right. I think that's better. Let's refit this now and see if that works. And if this doesn't work, I'm a wee bit stumped as to why this isn't running smoothly. Okay, I cannot see any fault with this now. There we go. So there we go, that's finally running smoothly. Couldn't understand why that wasn't working, but this little linkage here was just bent, just where it goes round that little pin, and it was stopping this rotating smoothly. It just shows you it can be the tiniest wee thing can interrupt the operation of these linkages. I suppose we better get them oiled up. So that goes in there. This pickup goes down in there. Oh no, I think that's wrong. I think I've got this the wrong way around. Right, I think that goes down in there. So, and that connects to the front bogie. That will then connect to that. That'll go down in there. And that will connect to one of those. And then I have to get this down through there. And that connects into the front body like that. Have we got a connection between there and the wheel? Yep, this wheel. Yep, front bogie. Yep. Right, we'll get this back together. Right, does this go? Come on. Okay, it's going. I think it needs a good run. So we'll stick it in the layout and see what happens. Okay, so let's pull this out of the shed and see how it runs. Turn on the power. Oh, look at that. So there we are, that's this old Hornby Class D49 locomotive running again, and running very well, I have to say. The Ringfield motor in the tender, absolutely nothing wrong with it, it's in really good condition, just needed a simple service. The locomotive, yeah, the rods and linkages were a bit bent, which was causing the wheels to lock up, and it also needed cleaned out, re-lubricated, clean all the pickups, and tidy up the decals, the numbering on the cab there, and take off all that old paint on the cylinders. I really wish I'd been able to do a bit more cosmetically with the locomotive, you know, with the paintwork, but I'm not the person for that, I'm afraid. I'm not very good at that kind of thing, so It's best left well alone, but I think just getting all that old paint off the cylinders and just leaving them black, I think that looks absolutely fine. So we'll get this packaged up and sent back to David along with his Class 29 there. Right, catch you later folks.